The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to this morning's role play session with your host, James McDonald.
Well, thank you very much, Andrea, and I'd like to start by welcoming our participants to our role play session, your favorite time of the week. We're going to do some role playing. We're going to answer all of your follow-up related questions, anything to do with the universal script or the follow-up process. And we're going to spend about an hour here doing that. But before we get started, a couple little things. First of all, we are very excited because tomorrow is our Huntington Beach boot camp. And so there are a good number of you that are confirmed that are going to be coming to Huntington Beach tomorrow morning. And we're going to have an awesome day. So we're really excited about that. We've done many of these over the years, and we do them all over the place for our brand new coaching students primarily. Not that you can't come as often as you want. I mean, if you're involved in the Craig Proctor coaching community, you can come to any and all of the boot camps, as you well know, and many other live events that we put on throughout the year. But what we find is that for those of you who are new with the system, maybe you got involved in April at the Super Conference in Anaheim, this is a perfect shot in the arm to sort of clarify everything that you're doing or working on and to work out some of the little bugs that are getting in the way of you really making a quantum leap. And find that happens. We're going to really be able to spend the time to go into great detail on all of the elements of the system. Are you generating leads? And anything and everything you can be doing to generate leads. Are you following up effectively with leads? Is your use of the universal callback script effective? What about your presentations? Are appointments showing up? Are you even booking appointments? Are you getting contracts signed? All of these things can be looked at under a microscope and broken down to make sure that you're doing every detail correctly and effectively, because it's kind of like, this is what we've identified, is that this system is very much like the analogy of the chain is only as strong as the weakest link. If everything is working effectively but one link in that chain is weak or broken, the whole thing can fall apart and you can scratch your head unable to identify what is causing the whole thing to fail. And it is one small detail. And rather than fixing things that aren't broken, we're able to drill down and determine, okay, this is the problem. Let's just fix this since everything else is as it should be. So anyway, we're really excited about tomorrow, and you'll have a great day with us. I assure you it will be it'll be a great time. And for those of you that aren't attending, we're still going to do our ad clinic, although I won't be on that. We will still be doing our ad clinic session, so tomorrow at this time you can log on to the webinar and take part in the ad clinic session at this time. But today is role play. So here's what I would like to do. I would like to take volunteers that want to do role playing with me, and I also want to take any and all of your follow-up related questions. So any questions that you have as it relates to the follow-up process, you can type them into the chat. You can use the microphone on your computer, what have you. But this is our role-playing session, so let's say that everything that we discuss today revolves around role-playing and it revolves around the universal callback script and everything that goes along with reading your prospects and that follow-up process. So Andrea, take it away.
Thank you. And I just want to address this really quickly, James.
Or not.
Can you hear me? James?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. We seem to be having, yes,
I can hear you just fine.
We're having an audio problem coming from your end, unfortunately. I thought it was just me, but we're getting a lot of members saying that your audio is cutting in and out. We're having a hard time hearing you. So I just wanted to address that really quickly.
Hello, am I there?
Your audio, you were
hello?
gone for quite a while.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Earth to Andrea.
James?
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, yes, I'm here. I can hear you perfectly. I don't understand, like, I hear you loud and clear. You can't hear me.
You're coming and
Hello?
going.
Okay, maybe I'll log off and log back in. How's that?
That's going to be
How
perfect.
about I log back in? I will log out and log back in. Is that a good idea? Okay.
Yes,
that's what I'm
that
gonna do
is. Everyone, I apologize for the audio disruptions and difficulties. Hopefully we'll get James on a really good internet connection when he comes back on. Okay, he's logging on back now. Everybody just hold on the line. I do apologize again for the audio difficulties we're having this morning. Hi, James.
Hello,
you're back on with us.
Am I back on? Can you hear me okay?
I can. I just want to make sure you can hear me.
I can hear you. I did not have any problems hearing you the whole time.
Okay.
Me hearing was not an issue. You hearing me sounds like it's the issue.
Yeah.
Okay, if it doesn't work again, okay. If it doesn't work again, let me know, and I will call in on the phone number that, whatever the phone number is I have here, okay?
Okay, so far it sounds pretty good. So we're going to go to our first role play, and we have Greg Shelton who's raised his hand. Go ahead, Greg.
Okay.
Hi. Hey, good morning, James. How you doing?
Hi, Craig. I'm good. I'm good. Sorry about the technical issues that we're having here. You know, the year before I was born, we not only put a man on the moon, but actually spoke to him pretty clearly in real time. It's amazing, isn't it? And that was, you know, I mean, that was only 47 years ago, so you wouldn't expect that technology would have worked out since then. But hey, who's complaining? Okay, so let's do this. What would you like to do this morning?
I'd like you to call me as a buyer, please.
Okay, so I'm calling you as a buyer, and I'm calling you directly off of like a for sale sign kind of thing, or what did you have in mind?
How about off my webpage?
I'm sorry?
You call me off of Orange Homes Info for free.
Okay, but then you'd be calling me back. Isn't that right?
Okay, all right. So ring, ring. Hi.
Hello?
Hello. Hey, is Mr. McDonald home?
That's me.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, good morning.
That's
this
me.
is Greg Shelton with Weichman Realtors. And the reason I'm calling you is because I received your information and I put it in an email to you, sent it over to you. I hope that was okay.
I don't know what information you're talking about.
Well, you were looking for homes and you came to my website, so I put some information together and sent it over to you. I hope that was okay.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look and see if I can find that. I'm not sure. I haven't looked in my inbox yet this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, are you planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
We're thinking about it. We're just looking around right now to see see what we can find, see what's out there, see what kind of deals. We're really early, so nothing serious right now. We're not going to sell our home or anything like that. We're just keeping our eyes peeled, looking and seeing what's available.
Oh, okay. So you own your own home?
Yes.
Okay. So would you prefer to buy before listing your home, or do you want to sell first?
No, we're not selling. No, we're not at all. No, all we're doing is just looking around to see what's out there. Yeah, we're just looking right now. That's it. Just looking.
Okay. All right. If you were to move, when do you think that might be?
If we do something, I don't know. We'll probably spend a couple of months this summer looking around to see what we can find, and if we happen to find something this summer, then maybe we would consider making the move. But we're going to take our time, and we're going to take the next few months and see what's out there.
Okay. Are you planning on staying in the area or moving out of the area?
No, we're staying locally. Like we're looking in other neighborhoods, obviously, but we're staying in the area.
Okay. Do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right?
No.
Okay. All right. Would you like me to email you daily updates of homes that match your home buying criteria from all the real estate companies? My list includes bank foreclosures, company-owned properties, or other distressed sales. It's a free service, and of course, you're never obligated to buy a home. Would that interest you?
Yeah, no, I'm just looking in my email inbox right now, and I can see those properties. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, that's great. I do appreciate your list. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have about 15, 20 minutes that we could get together so I can take down exactly what you're looking for?
Not really. Not right now. No, I'll just take a peek at these properties that you sent right here, and I'll give you a buzz if we want to see some other ones. How's that?
All right, that's fine. It sounds like you're kind of curious. So would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Okay, and when do you think that might be? What would be a good time to call you back?
Yeah, give us a month. Give us a month, and we'll be a little closer to figuring it out and what we're going to do by then.
Okay. All right. If I can help you in any way, give me a call. My number is 714-225-8872, and I'll look forward to talking to you in a month. Great.
Thanks, Greg.
Okay. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Okay. So first of all, I want to establish a couple things. Okay. You have to determine my timing and motivation. And that is the purpose of this phone call, to determine the timing and motivation. But let me start from the very, very beginning. Okay, first of all, the introduction. The idea of the introduction is to give me a reason why you're calling me. So you want to make sure that I know what exactly you're talking about. Like we've got to differentiate ourselves from a telemarketer. So if you know that I requested a list of properties, then you need to be specific and say, I'm calling you because you were on my website and you had requested a list of properties in the such and such area. Like the more specific you can be about what I requested, and I wanted to let you know that I've prepared and sent that to you, is that okay? Leave no doubt, leave no question as to what I asked you for. Okay, remember this. When you are cold calling, the purpose of your cold call is because you want something from the prospect. The purpose of this phone call is that the prospect wanted something from you. It's the opposite. But if you don't make that clear, then it loses the whole power of this reverse process. Okay, I need to be able to say, Greg. Okay. The reason I'm calling is because you were on my website, Orange County Home Finder, and you'd requested a list of, whatever, homes with pools in Laguna Niguel. I just wanted to give you a courtesy call and let you know I did prepare a list of those properties for you, and I emailed them to you. I hope that's okay. I am going to clonk you over the head with a frying pan to make sure that you know that the reason I'm calling you is because you asked me for information, and I'm going to be very specific as to exactly what information you asked for and what information I sent you. I'm going to make it very difficult for you to say anything other than thank you. But if you say, hey, it's Greg with RE/MAX, I'm calling because of the information you asked for, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And because of that, I'm not going to say thank you for something I have no idea what you're talking about. I am telling you, it makes a huge difference. You have to elicit a reaction of appreciation from your prospect. If they don't understand why you're calling them, it completely is lost from the very onset. Okay, so that's number one. Really focus on that. Do a really good job with your intro. Okay, number two, the purpose of asking the questions is to establish timing and motivation. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to ask you the questions, and you can answer them the same way I did. Greg, are you thinking about making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
Yes.
Oh, you are? Okay, I want you to answer the questions the way that I did, though. I didn't say yes. Greg, are you thinking about making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
Oh. No, not really. We're just looking around.
Yeah, and if you were to make a move, would you be staying here locally or moving out of the area? Hello, can you not hear me?
Yeah, we're going to be staying in the neighborhood.
We lost you just for a second.
And, it's very frustrating. I'm calling from the identical computer I call every single for years. It's crazy to me. Okay, so can you hear me or not?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, we're going to be staying in the neighborhood.
Okay.
We're just looking around right now.
I see. And you currently own the home that you live in right now?
Yes.
Yeah. And would you prefer to look around and find your next property before you consider selling your home?
Well, we're just looking right now.
It's just not
But
working.
yeah, I'd want to sell first.
Yeah, James,
Yeah,
I think you're going to have to call in on the telephone. It's gotten a lot worse.
Yeah, I don't understand why, but it has. Okay. Okay, give me a second, and I will. I just got to. I got to call in here. So I apologize, everybody. What can you do? I'll be right back.
Okay. Greg, you still on with us?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm just checking my heart rate. Last time I was on the phone, remember last time I role played with you, I talked to James afterwards, and my heart rate had hit 152.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how nervous I was. So it only went to 133 today.
That's good.
You know, it's weird because I'll have a conversation, I door knock, and you know, like when I'm on the phone with other people, it's just I don't get nervous like this when I'm.
It's a lot of pressure.
Doing this,
Hello, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
James, we can hear you.
Am I good?
You're good. I think
I'm on a regular telephone. Like
1985.
that was invented. Yes, I'm on a 1985 telephone. So hopefully that's better. Okay. Yeah. Sorry for all that. I mean, I don't know what the deal is, but it must be the weather. Anyway. Okay. So Greg, we're doing a little role play here. Here's what I wanted to demonstrate. Okay. This is the long and short of what I'm trying to demonstrate here is that if we're trying to determine timing and motivation, and the prospect isn't helping us, we might need to ask some additional questions. And I just want you to know there's nothing wrong with that. So what if I said this to you? Hey, Greg, I noticed that you responded to my ad online. You were obviously looking online for properties for sale. How else have you been looking around to find properties that you might be interested in? How have you been doing that?
I've been looking at Realtor.com.
Yeah, going online. Have you gone to like open houses or anything like that, or looked at properties, called off signs?
We've my wife and I have followed some signs and looked at some properties.
Okay. Do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right?
No, I don't.
Well, I'll tell you what. A lot of the properties that represent great deals that are available on the market aren't on Realtor.com, and they're very hard to find using the method that you're using right now. What if I were to email you every single day, Greg, all of the properties as they came on the market that matched exactly what you and your family are looking for? What I'll be sure to include are any of the hard-to-find deals that you might not find elsewhere. Like, let me give you an example. Distress sales, bank foreclosures, company-owned properties, private listings, pocket listings, properties that aren't yet available but are for sale, although not on MLS. There are all kinds of great deals that I know about that you will find very difficult to locate. I can email those to you immediately as soon as they come on the market. And the best part is it's absolutely free. There certainly is no obligation to buy anything. I understand that you're just looking right now, but this is a better way to look. Would you like me to set you up on that right away, Greg?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I see that spin. Okay, so
okay.
I'm spinning.
Right, here's what I'm saying to you. I'm making this very clear. Greg, I know that you're not buying anything today, but you are looking. And if you're looking, I want to make sure you're not wasting your time looking at only a fraction of what is available. So if we can sit down for 15 or 20 minutes, I can do a really good job of determining what I should be sending so that we don't miss out on the perfect property or waste your time sending you properties that aren't quite right. It is free. There's no obligation. When are you available for 10, 15 minutes to sit down with me? Days, evenings, this weekend? What would be best? See the difference? So
evenings.
That same prospect, that same prospect, I could have worked this so that they see the benefit, even though they're not buying anything until, maybe a couple of months from now. They are looking right now, and I have a better way for them to look than what they're currently doing. Think of it. I want everybody on this webinar to think about that for a second. If the prospect is currently looking, you have a better way for them to look. They don't have to buy anything. There's no obligation for you to buy anything whatsoever. But if you're spending your energy looking, the way you're going about looking sucks in comparison to what I can do to help you look. And you're under no obligation. You don't have to pay any money, right? I mean, it is just a better way of doing what you're already doing by your own admission. That's what we have to present to the prospect so that crystal clear they see, yeah, that would be really good and that would really benefit me. And if I'm not obligated to buy anything and it doesn't cost me any money, there is no downside. Sure, I'm game.
Okay.
All right.
I got that philosophy of how to put the spin onto like the MLS strip that we send out to people. So
here's the big thing is when you make the offer, you've got to differentiate what you're proposing to send them with what you've already sent. Okay, so I hit you with the objection. I said, yeah, look, I see your properties here. I'm going to take a look at the properties you've sent. Right away, your brain should go to this. The properties that I've sent you are properties that have already been overlooked by the other buyers. And Greg, quite frankly, the property that eventually you and your family are going to buy is not on the market today. It's not on the market today, but it's going to be. And the key is when that property becomes available, you need to be among the very first to know that that property is available. So I can email you every day all of the great deals that match what you and your family are looking for as soon as they're available for sale. Not as soon as they're on the MLS, in many cases before that, and it's free and there's no obligation. Would you like me to set you up on that?
Yes.
Right? That's the difference. What I've done is I've gone overboard in making sure you understand. What I've sent you are properties that aren't of interest. That's why they're still for sale, because no one's bought them. The property that you're going to buy isn't on the market today. It's just not. It's going to be. Here's the question. When that property comes on the market, when are you going to find out about it? A week, 2 weeks, a month after it's already been sold? Or are you going to find out about that property the second it's available for sale? That's what I'm proposing. And here's the deal. There's no downside to getting that service. No downside. It's free and there's no obligation. So when you articulate it in that way, the prospect will see that, and booking appointments becomes a whole lot easier instead of offering to follow up in the circumstance that we just painted. So I hope that helps, Greg. I appreciate it.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Hey, thank you for coaching me up again.
Awesome. You're welcome. All right. Who's next, Andrea?
Our next guest has typed a question. Mary says, for my seller leads who've requested an online evaluation, if after numerous attempts I can't reach them by phone, is there an email I should send, or should I keep trying in the future?
Well, you should have sent them an email immediately anyway with the area home sales report. That's what they requested. It didn't say, we'll provide you with an area home sales report if I talk to you. It didn't say that. It didn't say I'll only give you the information if I talk to you. You are obligated to send the information to anyone who requested it. And so, yes, you should have done that. As a matter of fact, if you're set up on the IDX or the HDX through Success website, then you can set it up so that automatically an area home sales report is sent to the prospect, the most recent homes in their area that have sold. That should be a given. But, it is built in. You're not going to reach every single prospect. All you can do is everything possible to get a hold of that prospect, which means not just calling them, on several occasions, but also seeing if you can get a different phone number, calling them from different numbers, calling them at different times of the day. And if all that fails and you've really done that systematically, here's what you'll find. If you don't reach the prospect, they probably fall into the category of 20%. 20% doing all of those things I mentioned, 20% will never ever answer the phone and you'll never talk to them, but 80% will. So if you've done all those things and you don't reach them, well, then they fall into the 20%. If you do all of those things 80% of the time, you'll get a hold of them. Maybe not on the first, second, third, fourth attempt, but you will get a hold of the prospect, eventually. But regardless of whether you reach them or not, you're obligated to send the information that they requested. Next question.
Our next question is, at this stage, and I believe they're referring to the role play you just did, what if they ask, do I have to sign anything?
No. No, you do not. As a matter of fact, if you want, you do not have to draw a breath. You do not have to. Nobody here is going to make you do anything at all. You're not required to do anything. That is true. You are not obligated to sign anything. You don't have to. I don't have to provide you with the information, but you don't have to do anything. Like, think of that question, okay? Do I have to? No, of course you don't have to. I'm going to go through this presentation and I'm going to show you everything that we offer and everything that I can do for you and everything that revolves around my representation. You are never obligated to buy a home. My services are free. And if you think I'm not doing the job you anticipated, here's a cancellation guarantee. You can fire me. All I ask in return is for your loyalty because I'm in the business of representing clients. Would you like me to handle this for you? Having said all of that, would you like me to handle this for you? It's a question. It's not a requirement. Would you like me to handle this for you? If I've explained all of that and you elect no, well, that's fine. That is okay. You are allowed to say no and sign nothing and get up and leave and say, I don't want your help. That happens. That is perfectly okay. So when the prospect says, do I have to? The answer is, of course you don't have to. No, you don't have to. That would be like saying to a seller, well, if you come over and give me an evaluation, do I have to list my home with you? What's the answer? Do I have to list my home for sale? Of course you don't have to. There's no have to. It's a free country. All right, so don't get caught up in that. Next question.
Our next question from David, do you recommend using the last name, not the first name in the introduction?
It depends on what information they gave you. If they give first and last name, I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for the person's first name. Remember, we're calling someone who requested information from us. So we're not a telemarketer. They requested information. So just imagine this. You get a phone call and it's, hi, is Bob there? Or in this case, hi, is Andrea there? And Andrea's like, well, this is a personal call asking for Andrea. And I say, oh, hey, Andrea, it's James McDonald with Craig Proctor's office from RE/MAX calling. The reason I'm calling, Andrea, is I got a request from you last night on my website looking for a list of properties with swimming pools in the Glendale area. And I just wanted to give you a quick courtesy call and let you know I did put together that list for you. I emailed it to you last night. I hope that's okay, Andrea. Like, what we're doing by using their first name really is we are differentiating ourselves from a telemarketer, because if I was a telemarketer calling you completely unsolicited, telemarketers would probably refer to you as, Ms. Velasquez. Did I pronounce that right, by the way?
Pretty good.
Not bad, eh?
Not bad for a Canadian.
Right. Not bad for a Canadian. All right. So anyway, yes, I would. But what if I said this? Everything is a test. Why don't you see what kind of reaction that you get and test it? But I think that if the prospect leaves their first and last name, then you can ask for the first name. And I think what it does is it frames it as more of a personal call. And it is more personal because they requested information from you. If it was an unsolicited call, it's more formal, and you're asking for, is Mr. McDonald there? Right away, I'm like, well, I don't know you. So right away, my back's up, Mr. McDonald. Like, what did I do now? Right? Okay, so good question. Let's move on.
So I want to address Jordan has typed in quite a lengthy comment/question, and I feel so I don't mumble it up. Jordan, if you have a mic, it'd probably be best if you talk to James yourself about that. If you don't have a mic, I'll do my best a little later on in the session. But we do have several hands raised, so we'll go on to some role plays now. Afshin has requested a few times in the past month, and I don't think we've gotten to him yet. So Afshin, go ahead.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So can we role play? Some of these people say, I just started looking, send me what you have, then I will see.
Okay, so that's been your objection.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so before we start, let me ask you a question. Did our role play with Greg, was it Greg or Randy? I can't remember. Greg,
it was
right?
Greg.
Greg, did the role play with Greg help give you an idea before we even start here as to how you're going to handle this? That's not.
Yeah. Well,
a little bit. Well, how about this? Why don't we? We'll, in about a minute and a half, we'll find out. Okay. So ring, ring. Hello.
Hi. Is Mark there?
James.
Sorry, James is there.
Yeah, this is James.
James, my name is Afshin with Royal LePage, and the reason I'm calling because I received your request for list of power of sale homes through my website, and this is just a quick courtesy call to say that I did prepare the list and I've sent in the email to you, and I hope that's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just wondering, are you planning on moving in the next 3 to 6 months, James?
No, we're just looking. We're not serious. We're just looking around, seeing what's out there. That's all we're really doing right now.
I see. And do you currently rent or do you own your home?
No, we rent.
You rent, I see. And if you were to move, like, are you going to planning to stay in the area or moving out of the area?
No, we're looking in the area. Yeah, we work here, so we're staying here.
Mm-hmm. And when do you think that might be?
Well, I don't know. Probably not for, more than 6 months anyway. 6 months a year, maybe.
More than 6 months a year.
It depends.
I see.
It depends on a bunch of different things. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious, when the time is right for you to move, do you have a realtor to help you at that time?
Well, we've met a couple of realtors, that have sent us some stuff. We met a realtor that showed us a couple of properties, but we're not there yet. We're not ready to, waste anybody's time, working with us right now. Maybe in a few months, but not right now.
James, would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time, more closer to when you guys are thinking of buying a house?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, right now all we're doing is we're just looking around.
Okay.
We go to open houses on the weekends and stuff like that. But yeah, we're not. You can follow up. Probably be ready to buy something. Maybe as I said, it'll be several months for sure. So you can follow up then if you want to. Yeah.
So when is a good time for me to call you closer to your home buying time?
I don't know, maybe in August or September.
August, September. Okay, I'll do that, James. And I'm just curious, I have a free monthly newsletter that I send to clients like you who keeps them up to date with what's happening in the market. Would you like to receive that also?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, and this one comes actually with a stamp, so it's not the email newsletter. What is your address?
123 Maple Street.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, James. So I'll follow up with you.
Okay, so let me take that exact same prospect.
Right.
Okay, and let me share with you a couple of little things here that you need to have your, for lack of better words, your antenna needs to kind of go up. Okay. I told you that although I'm not working with a realtor per se, I have called realtors and I've had realtors show us properties.
Right.
Here's my question to you. Does that speak to my motivation?
You're right. Yes, he's.
Hey, now you've got to think about this. What I'm telling you is this. I may not be ready to buy something right now, but I am looking right now.
Right.
Here's what you've got to anticipate. Okay, watch this. If between now and August or September, every weekend I'm going and looking at open houses. I've got realtors that are sending me stuff. I've got realtors that are showing me properties. Here's the question. Do you think that by the time you call me in August or September, it's going to be easier or more difficult to pull me away from a realtor that has already been helping me for 3 or 4 months? You've just made it harder for yourself. So watch this. What if I said this? I said, hey, James, you've already been spending time looking for properties. And I understand that you're not in a position where you're going to be buying something in the immediate future, but it's clear to me that you are spending your time and your energy looking for properties right now, just to make sure that you know everything that's out there. I got a proposal for you that I think might be really applicable to you. If I can email you every single day all of the properties as they come on the market, as they become available on the market, that match exactly what you're looking for, you'd know about those properties immediately before any of the other buyers did, and before they're available online on various websites. You'd know about them days or even weeks in advance of them being available. And the best thing about this is it's absolutely free, and you're under no obligation to buy anything. So I can send you properties for months. There is no time limit. There's no obligation to buy anything. But here's the benefit to you. If you know about the perfect property before the other buyers, you're in a position, if you want, to buy that home before the other buyers know it's available for sale. It's absolutely free. There's no obligation. Would that be something of interest to you?
Yeah, okay. If you put it that way, yeah.
Yeah. Well, when have you got 15 minutes so we can get together and do a good job of determining what you're looking for exactly, so I don't miss out on anything or don't, waste your time sending you properties that you're not interested in. It's free, as I said. There's no obligation, and I'm flexible. When have you got 15 or 20 minutes, something during the day, evenings, something this weekend? What would be good?
Right. Okay, weekends, yeah.
Okay, so I booked the appointment.
Okay,
now,
great.
Here's the difference, and this is mastery level. Okay, this is the goal for everybody on the webinar. Mastery level is this. If you're listening to what the prospect says, not focused on what you're going to say, but you're listening to what the prospect says, you're able to take the words that the prospect has told you and use those words to help you get what you want. You tell me, I go to open houses. Okay, so you said you go to open houses. So watch this. I'm able to say, well, look, driving around looking at open houses, is very time consuming, and you're only seeing a fraction of the properties that are available for sale. I happen to know of other properties that are available that you won't find by driving around, and I can give you access to those properties the second they come on the market. Since you're already looking anyway, this is a better way for you to find what you're looking for, and it's free, and there's no obligation to buy anything. Would that be of interest to you? I'm making it really easy for you to say yes and very difficult for you to say no. So bear that in mind. When the prospect tells you what they're doing, we're just looking. Oh, really? How are you looking? Well, we go online every day. So here's my question. You sending them daily emails, is that better than them going online every day, or is it the same?
It's better.
It's way better. Okay, well, then you should say that. You should tell them that it's better. You should say, look, going online, you're only seeing a fraction of the properties available, and you're seeing the properties well after they've been available for sale. So not only are you missing out on properties, but you're seeing them after many of them have already been sold. If you know about the best deals as they come on the market, you can beat out other buyers because you'll know about them first. And it's free, and you're under no obligation to buy anything. You can be enjoying this service for months if you want. There's no downside to that. We're flexible. When's a good time for us to get together and take down your criteria? So that's what I want you to start to do is start to listen to what the prospect is saying they're doing so that you can take those words and make what you're offering sound even more attractive. Thanks for volunteering today.
Thank you.
Who's next, Andrea?
We have Jordan Tanner. He was able to confirm he has a mic. Jordan, your mic is open. You're muted on your end. Just hit the red mic button on your control panel.
Hello, Jordan.
Jordan, go ahead. There you go.
There he is. Hi, Jordan.
Hi. So, you know how Craig always says, you're the pro, not the amateur. Don't step into the ring and get beat up. I feel like I got beat up a couple times by the prospects. And
okay, so did the prospects say something to you that you never heard before? Is that why? Because that analogy, let me just explain what Craig means by that analogy. What he means is this. The prospect has no clue what you're going to say. They have no idea what you're going to say at all. But you, after doing this, you know, dozens, hundreds, thousands of times, know exactly what the prospect is going to say. So that's the difference between the amateur and the professional is if I were to get into the ring with Mike Tyson, I've never done it before. I have no idea what's coming to me. And he is like, yeah, I know exactly what this idiot's going to do. And it's very, very predictable. He knows that there are, you know, maybe one of 10 things that I might try to do, including get the hell out of the ring, right? But anyway, you get the point. So that's what Craig means by that analogy. So if prospects are still surprising you by saying things completely unprepared for, that you've never ever heard before, that's a little surprising if you've made, you know, if you've been making these phone calls for several months. But so give me an idea of what kinds of things are you hearing that you've never heard before that's leaving you flat-footed and ill-prepared.
okay, so she said that they want a lot or a fixer-upper up to 1.5 million in a specific area. They'll look at any deal. It doesn't matter what the features are. It doesn't matter if we have a conversation about what's important or not important. Any properties, I should send them to her. They've already bought a lot of properties, and getting together isn't important. She just told me what she wanted.
Okay, so I want you to think about something for a second, okay? Here's the question. Hey, Jordan, have you found up to this point the property that you're looking for? Have you found the property that you're looking for as of yet?
Well, we just purchased 5 of them, so we're looking for the next one.
Okay, and how long have you been looking?
2 months.
Okay, so in 2 months of looking, you haven't found exactly what you're looking for. I'm going to make a proposal. If I know exactly what it is you're looking for as well as you do, I'm going to be able to do a much better job of finding that perfect property. Not only properties that are available on the MLS, but also properties that are available from other realtors, maybe private listings, pocket listings, properties that are upcoming for sale but are not available immediately. But I need to have as good an understanding as you do. And the best way for me to get that understanding is by sitting down with you for 15 or 20 minutes and doing a really good job of understanding what is important, what isn't important, what you definitely want, and what you definitely don't want. If we don't do that, if we do not meet, what I find is that I waste your time and mine sending properties that aren't of any interest, or worse, missing out on what would have been an amazing opportunity. So I insist on it because it works for you and for me, and it ensures that we do a great job. It is absolutely free. There is no obligation. We can meet at your convenience. Are you sure you wouldn't reconsider a brief appointment at your convenience?
Well, James, what are we going to discuss? My criteria is simple. Any lot up to $1.5 million in this specific area, we'll look at anything.
Well, I understand that you might look at anything, but you'll also decline many of these properties. They will not be of interest to you. So I would like to eliminate those properties from the onset. So I need to have a good understanding. Let me just explain here how I can do a great job for you. The way that I'm going to do a great job for you is by going to the other realtors. What you're looking for is unusual. What you're looking for is unique. I'm going to go to all of my resources, and I'm going to see what they know is coming up, what is coming available. So I need to have a very specific idea of what you don't want and what you do want if I'm going to do that. This is not a mainstream track home or town home, you know, that's available just anywhere. What you're looking for is something very unique and specific. So I'm going to use my resources to find exactly what you're looking for. All I ask in return is that you spend 15 or 20 minutes with me so I can be assured that I'm looking for the right thing if I'm going to use my resources. It is free. I'm not charging you any money. Leave your wallet in the car. Are you sure you wouldn't reconsider a brief appointment to make sure that we do this properly?
Let's just do it right now really quick on the phone.
You know what? I prefer to meet face-to-face. As a matter of fact, I insist on it. I want to ensure that I'm even the type of realtor that you want to work with. And unless we meet, you know, it's really difficult to do that. I'll tell you what, you invest 15 minutes face-to-face with me, it's going to save you hours and hours of time throughout the process. But, you know, like a doctor, I'm not going to, you know, prescribe over the phone without meeting with you. This is a big investment that you're making, and I understand you've made it before. But I take it very seriously. I want to do a good job for you. I'm sure you want me to do a good job. If I meet with you, I'll do a much better job than if we just have a chat over the phone. So, yeah, you know, I can make it convenient for you. As I said, there's no cost. I don't know if there's anything more I can do for you. But if you're willing to set up an appointment and meet with me, I'll do a great job for you. Can we do that?
Okay, sounds good, James.
Or not.
Yeah.
But this is what I want you to establish. Is this the rule or is this the exception?
The exception.
Right? In other words, I had these people and they said no. Okay, who cares? That's good. Oh, well, you had these people and they said no. Well, then they said no. That's fine. But if you say to me, everybody I talk to declines my offer, everybody I talk to says no, well, then that's a different story. Now we need to drill down and we need to work on this. If it's the exception, well, you know what? Hey, man, I bent over backwards there. I mean, I made 3 cracks at it of making you understand, first of all, why we need to meet, and eventually insisting that I will only work with you, I will only help you if we meet. So I went through those 3 phases. The first is, here's why you should want to meet with me. The second is, here's why I do a better job if we meet. And then the third is, I insist we meet or I can't help you. If all 3 of those things result in no, then you know what? Hey, man, I tried. I tried. I did everything I can. I tried. But I'll tell you, it is the exception. If you do that, it is the exception, not the rule. And the reason that I began by asking you that question, have you found what you're looking for? It's kind of a got you question, all right? In other words, what I want to say to the typical prospect is this. Hey, Jordan, you haven't found what you're looking for even though you've been looking for months. And I'll tell you why. It's because the way that you've been going about looking for your property isn't working. You're missing out on the perfect investment opportunities. You're not finding them. And it's because what you're doing is you're looking around on MLS, you're looking around on websites, and you're just simply not finding the best investment opportunities doing what you're doing. It's going to require more than that in order to find the very best deals. I have resources that allow me to find those kinds of properties. But if I'm to do a good job of figuring out what you're looking for, I insist that we meet for 15, 20 minutes. It's the way I do a good job, and it's good for you, and it's good for me, and it ensures that we do an excellent job. But leave your wallet in the car. I'm not charging you any money. I don't obligate you to buy anything, but we do a good job this way. Are you certain you wouldn't sit down with me for 15, 20 minutes? It just makes sense. Now, if you say no, that's cool. I will go on to the next prospect. But you are going to represent the exception, not the rule. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Hey, James, you know what I ended up doing was what Todd Walters calls a plan B buyer. If you can't get them to meet up with you, you set up their little search anyways. I spent 10 minutes doing that. Now she has auto emails, and you know,
yeah, I mean, and that's great. and that's great. But here's what I would wonder. Honestly, in that situation, here's what I would wonder. If what you're saying is true, and they've bought 5 investment properties, in recent months and years, the honest truth is this: I bet you they have a realtor. Like, here's the deal: they ain't using you. Let me get this straight. You buy investment properties, and you've bought 5 of them in recent months. Well, I find it very hard to believe that you're not working with somebody then. And the likeliness is the reason you're so opposed to meeting with me is because you are not working with me. You just wanted to see what I had. That's it. And if that's true, then you might as well find out about it in a 2-minute phone call, right? But if the prospect said, yeah, we've never bought an investment property ever before, we've been looking around trying to find the right property, that's a totally different story. It's a lot easier to compel that kind of investor than it is somebody that says, oh yeah, like we bought one a couple of months ago, we bought 5 of them. The odds that they're not working with a realtor is pretty remote. Would you agree with that, Jordan?
Yeah, it sounded like they kind of work with a rotation of different realtors.
How do you know that?
I asked, do you have a realtor to help you? She said, no, we usually go direct with the listing agent.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I mean, that's why you need to book the face-to-face appointment, because that's not an objection that you want to handle over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely better to handle that face-to-face. But anyway, hopefully you got some tidbits there, or at very least understanding that it's perfectly okay to have the exception as long as it's not the rule. And all you can do is handle the objections, give it, every bit of logic that you can have at it. And if doing that yields you a no, then at least you tried. Move on to the next one.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
All right, Andrea, let's take another one or any other questions that we might have.
Okay, and speaking of rules or exceptions, Sonia is having a problem with no-show. She says she's had 4 buyer appointments, all of them confirmed, but none of them showed. They didn't even respond when she tried to text or phone call. She says she gets these situations many times. What should she do?
Okay, so again, I really like that you said this is the rule, because it is the rule. If it's happening all the time, you've got to understand something you're doing is causing the prospects to not show up. So you're booking this appointment, and then the prospect is hanging up the phone, and the last thing on their mind is this appointment. So the first thing that you have to establish is this. It has to do with the logistics of the appointment. In other words, when are you booking this appointment? You will find there's a direct correlation between the closer to now you book the appointment, the more likely the appointment is to happen. The further from now, the less likely it is to happen. So if I'm speaking to you right now and I book an appointment for noon today, it's very likely that that appointment is going to happen, because that's in a few hours from now, Pacific time, right? Noon is, 3 hours from now. That appointment is very likely to happen. But if I say we book the appointment for noon next Friday, the appointment is far less likely to happen noon next Friday than it is noon today. You understand that? Logistically, it's very important that you book the appointment as close to now as you can. Okay, now, the next thing is this. You need to reiterate to the prospect, once the appointment is booked, you need to reiterate why you're meeting with them. So in other words, here's what you might want to say. Okay, here's some verbiage you might want to say. Just so you can better prepare for our appointment, take some time to consider and write down all of the things that you're looking for in your property, all of the most important key elements, everything that's important to you, everything that you'd like, everything on your wish list, and also anything that you know you don't want, anything that you're really looking to avoid and that you don't like in the property. The better job you do of considering all of these things, the quicker we'll be able to set you up on the daily emails so we can get you in and out of here. And as I said, there's no cost to this at all, but do that homework assignment, and when I see you tomorrow evening, we'll be able to get you in and out of here and get you set up on the daily email search, and I'll even prepare a list immediately for you that you can take with you when you leave. Fair enough? Okay, so remember, I'm saying that to the prospect after the appointment is booked. I'm reiterating why we're meeting. I want the very last thing in their brain not to be, I'm meeting with a realtor, I'm booking an appointment with a salesperson, I must be crazy. I want the last thing in their head to be, I have a homework assignment, and the homework assignment is all about my wish list of what I'm looking for. That's a way better thing to think about. If their brain is occupied with, I need to sit down and make our wish list of everything that's important to us in a property, that's a much more positive thing to focus on than, I'm meeting with a salesperson that must be out of my damn mind. Okay, so that's something you want to do. Now, you can also send them an email confirmation as soon as you've gotten off the phone with them that, again, reiterates the homework assignment. Take some time to consider your wish list, all the things that are most important to you, so we can do a really good, quick job on our appointment of getting you set up on the daily email search. Remember, the appointment's free and there's no obligation. Take some time and do this homework assignment, and we'll be able to do a great job for you and provide you with a list of properties before you leave. See you tomorrow night. I want you to do those things, and let's see if that yields you a better result as it pertains to your show-up ratio. Because I think that what is happening is the prospects, if I were to call the prospect and say, hey, you had an appointment the other day that you didn't keep. I'm just curious as to not why you didn't keep the appointment, but I'm curious as to whether you could tell me what was the purpose of the appointment. I would love to make that call and see what would the prospect say. What was the purpose of that appointment? And I bet you that the prospect couldn't begin to articulate the benefit to them of that appointment. Now think about that. If the prospect couldn't tell me the benefit of the appointment, is it any bit of wonder they didn't show up for the appointment? Right? It makes sense. They don't understand the benefit. Yeah, they're less likely to show. And that is exactly what I feel like is happening. So anyway, be conscious of that and try to put in place those few things. Book the appointment close. Reiterate, after you've booked the appointment, reiterate why you're meeting and the homework assignment, and then send them a confirmation email right after you get off the phone with them, reiterating the homework assignment, the wish list, free, no obligation. Let's see what happens when you do that. Good question. All right, Andrea, let's take one more question before we wrap it up for this morning. And I just want to remind everybody again, or not remind, but mention again, really excited to see everybody who's confirmed for the boot camp tomorrow. We've got a big, big group coming. It's at the Hyatt, as you know, in Huntington Beach. We're going to have a really great day. So we're really looking forward to that, obviously. Who or what is our last question, Andrea?
Okay, and I know we did address this earlier in the webinar, and Andy's asking, so can you please reiterate, do you send the list of homes before calling, or do you call before sending the list?
Send the list immediately. As a matter of fact, ideally, you'd like it to be automated. In other words, the prospect gets the list right away. It's automated. It happens through your website. The prospect requests a free special report. Once they hit submit and they include all of their contact information, automatically the report is sent to them through your Success website, for example. They request a list of properties. If you have Success website, through your IDX or HDX, automatically a list of properties is emailed to the prospect. So, I mean, the best case scenario is you call the prospect back and you're able to say, I received your request for the information, I prepared it and sent it. Is that okay? So if 3 days have gone by and you didn't send them anything, you know, I mean, that's okay. We can get away with it, but it's not as good as being able to say, yeah, I provided you. Remember this, to the prospect, if you send the information right away and the information comes from you, you followed up with them, Johnny on the spot, right away at their convenience. That's a good thing. So you would prefer to provide them with the information that they requested so that you're able to say, I'm not just calling because you requested the information, I'm calling to let you know that I prepared the information and I've sent it to you. Is that okay? Want to know what the answer is? Thank you. It's a whole lot easier to have a conversation with someone who just said thank you than someone who you've had to say, yeah, I mean, I haven't sent you anything yet, but I'm working on it. I mean, that doesn't elicit as much of a thank you as I got your request, I prepared the information, I sent you the information, is that okay? Thank you, right? This is all about, it's all about eliciting a reaction of appreciation from the prospect, because that is what differentiates us from a telemarketer, and it's what allows us to converse with the prospect in a more meaningful, pleasant way to somebody that just said thank you. All right, good question. Andrea, thanks so much for your help. Again, looking forward to seeing everyone tomorrow, or those of you that are going to be attending. We still will be doing the ad clinic tomorrow, so don't forget you can log into the ad clinic tomorrow morning, and you can participate in that, although I won't be there, of course, but we were going to be doing it, and it's going to be great, so don't miss it. And for those of you coming to Huntington Beach, come and say hi. We're going to have a great morning. We'll start at around 9 a.m., and there'll be coffee waiting for you, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, come and have a great day, and we will see you then. Andrea, thanks so much for your help today also.
Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Talk to you all very soon. Have a great afternoon.